Good day everyone, my name is Mergency Concepcion and I, along with my co-researchers, Ms. Bernal, Ms. Osinar, Ms. Lirasan, Ms. De Los Reyes, Ms. Nogas, Ms. Lisanin, Ms. Tejedor, Ms. Indoy, Ms. Talon, Ms. Jose, and Ms. Ompad are honored to have this opportunity to present our research entitled Social Media Usage and its Academic Performance Consequences among Grade 11 ABM students of MNHS Kamaya Campus.
Chapter 1. In this chapter presents the background, statement of the problem, significance, scope and delimitation of this study.
I'm Samantha Nogas and I'm here to discuss the problem in its background. The first one is, according to the 2023 Global Digital Report by Meltwater, and where 46% of Filipino social media users aged 16 to 64 say they follow influencers and other social media experts. The social media has greatly facilitated communication and information dissemination. It is a way for people to stay connected with each other faster in a very convenient place to get information no matter where they are. The second one is, according to Astudillo, students are highly motivated to using social media sites. The majority of them use this to satisfy their social needs more than their academic needs. It has been observed that the most of the students nowadays, particularly those in the secondary level, spend most of their time chatting with their acquaintances, playing online games, and watching videos, instead of reading their lesson, doing their homework, and other academic requirements. The main reason is when they work or search the materials online, they get attracted to social networking sites to kill boredom during study time, diverting their attention from their work and therefore leading them to less academic. It has been observed that the youth are the most active users of social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Google, Twitter, and Instagram. It has a significant impact on student lives because it allows them to educate themselves at any time. Despite all these benefits, social media has some drawbacks. It is highly addictive, and if not properly managed, it can have a negative impact on anyone. The third one is, according to the study of Hello, it states the majority of students agree that social networking site has a positive impact on their academic performance. Since internet today is the most important source of information, and several studies have affirmed that social media is really beneficial to student education. Social media adaptedly generate new opportunities to engage students in education, as they are remarkably effective of connecting people and facilitating the exchange of information. It seeks information which is a very helpful for the student.
This research aims to determine the social media usage and its academic performance consequences among grade 11 ABM of MNHS Kamaya campus. It seeks to find the answer to the following questions. First, what are the consequences of using social media on academic performance of students? With this question, the researchers will determine the potential impact, either positive or negative, that using social media may have on academic performance of students. Second, how does excessive use of social media influence student learning? This is what should be asked to the respondent because of the purpose of knowing how the excessive use of social media affect the learning of students. The opinion of the respondent is important to understand the effect of social media on their knowledge, skills, and learning abilities. Third, how does social media prevent the student from maintaining their focus on their studies? It is necessary to ask the respondent because their opinion and perspective are important to know what are the possible reasons why social media becomes an obstacle for students to focus on their studies. Fourth, is there any possibility that social media can be a tool towards academic performance of students? This is need to be asked to the respondent to find out their opinion or perspective about the possibility of using social media as a tool for improving the performance of students in the field of academics. Fifth, how can social media be used more effectively to bring students with a better academic performance? The researchers need to be asked to the respondent because there are different ways to improve their academic performance using social media. Their perspective and experiences will be valuable information for promoting more effective use of social media to help students improve and succeed in their studies.
Significance of the study. The impact of social media is viewed differently based on the status and experience of the people. Students can be affected positively or negatively in their academic performance. The significance of this study is to determine the consequences of using social media to the academic performance of a BM student in MNH's Kamaya campus. The purpose of this study is to look at student use of social media and this effect on their academic performance. This research study may benefit this group and the benefits they may again are following. To the student, this study data collection and finding will help students understanding the benefits and drawback of social media in their academic performance. Also promote awareness about the responsible use of social media. To the teacher, through this study, educator may determine what can do help learning by providing information on the effect of social media exposure on their student academic performance. Teacher can inform and raise awareness among their students about the potential effect of social media on their academic performance. To the parent, this study will assign parents in understanding the impact of social media on their kids' learning and becoming more awareness in order from him, guide and children from using social media. To the future research, this study will help research well more information on the influence of social media in student academic performance and finding awareness of the gift problem of the research.
Scope and elimination. This research will determine the consequences of social media usage to the academic performance of ABM students. Nowadays, students often use social media and there are instances that they are no longer able to study properly. Researcher needs student respondent in this investigation for they are the ones that understand the experience of recognition of social media. This study will be conducted in MNHS Kamaya campus. The proponents will select respondents from grade 11 ABM students who are currently enrolled. Their respondents will be asked to participate in the questionnaire and answer the given research instrument. Through dissemination of mediative questionnaire, the proponents will be able to determine social media usage and its academic performance consequences among grade 11 ABM students and analyzing the data collected from the respondents. Chapter 2. In this chapter, a discussion of theoretical framework, conceptual framework, and review of related literature is presented. I'm Mary Jane C. Concepcion and I will discuss the theoretical framework of this study. There are various theories that can serve as a basis for this study. They give insights into how people interact, learn, and more specifically, how they develop and adopt behavior. There were three theories that were considered in learning and understanding more about this study: the social learning theory, uses and gratifications theory, and connectivism. Social learning theory. This theory, propounded by Albert Bandura 1977, is based on the idea that people learn from interactions with one another in a social context. By observing the behaviors of others, people develop similar behaviors After observing the behavior of others, people assimilate and imitate that behavior, especially if their observational experiences are positive ones or include reward related to the observed behavior. Bandura also added a social element, arguing that people can learn new information and behaviors by watching other people. According to the elements of this theory, there are three general principles for learning from each other: observation, imitation, and modeling. Based on this, learning can occur without a change in behavior. People can learn through observation alone. Uses and gratifications theory. This theory was originated by Blumler and Katz, 1970. This theory emphasizes on the question what people do with social media. It asserts that people use social media for gratification purposes. The theory discusses how users proactively search for media that will not only meet a given need but enhance knowledge, social interaction, and diversion. Connectivism. Connectivism is a learning theory created by George Siemens and Stephen Downes, 2005, that explains how individuals use internet technologies to form connection, to learn and share ideas. Connectivism promotes learning that happens outside of an individual, such as through social media, online networks, blogs, or information databases. It accepts that technology is a major part of the learning process and that our constant connectedness gives us opportunities to make choices about our learning. These theories are relevant on this study. Consequences of social media usage on students' academic performance. From the amount of exposure of students to different social media platforms, it will not be surprising if they will be influenced by it. Students can easily adopt what they saw and watch on different social media platforms. As students browse on different applications and sites, various contents may catch their attention and interest. Through this, they can learn which may help them to their studies, and they may adopt certain behaviors that will affect their academic performance. It is very easy to imitate and influence by such things on social media.
Conceptual framework. This conceptual framework illustrates the researcher's approach to achieving the study's primary goal, to determine the consequences of social media use on student academic performance. The conceptual model illustrates the input, process, and output in this study. The input table's concept was the students' experiences and perspectives on using social media and their attitudes and behaviors towards academic performance and social media usage. The processes listed in the second table include gathering, analyzing, and interpreting the data from the selected respondents. Finally, the output tables provides the outcomes of processing the input data, containing an in-depth understanding of how social media usage impacts students' academic performance to recommend effective techniques for managing social media usage of optimized academic success.
Review of related literature and studies. A discussion of readings related to the problem under this study is presented in this chapter. This chapter presents both local and foreign-related literature and studies that will help the proponents in conducting this study. To aid the conceptualization of this investigation, the review of related literature and studies provide a rich and reliable background of information.
Foreign literature.
According to Austin, social media is an integral part of today's society. With loads of information being disseminated over the internet, social media has become the very fabric upon which our society is being built. The people who are at the forefront of molding the future of social networking sites are teens and children. This is because the vast majority of the people who use the internet are children and teens. According to Karadkar, actively and frequently participating in social networking can negatively affect their grades or hamper their journeys to their future careers. The most important things in a student life are studying, learning good habits, and gaining knowledge to become a person with moral character. But today, as we see in various studies, this optimal learning process is seriously jeopardized by students becoming entrapped by the ploys of social networking. Students neglect their studies by spending time on social networking websites rather than studying or interacting with people in person. Performing blog discuss the negative effects of social networking sites which overweight the positive ones. These sites have caused some potential harm to society. The students become victims of social networks more often than anyone else. This is because of the reason that when they are studying or searching their course material online, they get attracted to these sites to kill the boredom in their study time, diverting their attention from their work. According to SIG, social media boosts student academic performance and increasing their knowledge through data and information gathering. However, it is also a significant factor that is connecting to the stress and obstacle of mind. Social media presents both opportunities and risks to students. When students are assigned projects in school, they go through several online platforms to collect information so as to find solutions to their assignments. Conversely, some students tend to lose their concentration from studying and instead enjoy browsing on social media. All of this conveys to waste of time without getting anything from it. Students are often incapable of submitting their work in the specified time frame because they are more concentrated on using social media platforms.
Foreign studies. Based on study of the use of social media by teenagers and children could ruin their lives as well as have a bad impact on their education. Today's teenagers show very much interest in using social network and unfortunately it affects education badly. Social media diverts the attention and concentration of students toward activities which are not educational and time-wasting, such as chatting on non-educational topics. According to Alwigate, the increase in use of social network decreases the academic performance of the students. Similarly, Oya states that social platforms are mainly used by students for socializing activities rather than academic purposes. Social media has more adverse effects than positive ones, since students tend to spend more time browsing, posting, and watching on different social media platforms rather than educational purposes. This tends to cause distraction on learning environment affecting their academic progress.
According to Almahela, spending more on social media than revealing the topics that the student has learned at school may cause them to inculcate bad habits and poor grades, leading them to feel inadequate to reach their goal to have a better career in the future. Students hook with the social media prioritize the learning and thus manner to remember the lessons in the school. So, as stated on this article, that social media use has become prevalent and nearly untraceable. Changing the way students interact, connect, and socialize has become an integral part of their social and cultural fabric. As a result, students spend a significant amount of time on social media. Freelancing blog explain excessive use of social media can impair students' success in school and beyond. With the use of social media platforms in school, the students get motivated and fostered to learn. Educational videos on YouTube, easy access to e-book, online notes, and learning via video calls are major aspects to contribute to educational development. A vast majority of students use social media daily. It's not surprising that it influences their lives in many different ways. While moderate and reasonable usage can even be helpful, social media addiction has a negative impact on students' well-being and academic performance. In the first place, it concerns the ability to concentrate, time management, mental health, communication, and motivation.
According to Lanera, social networking may have a significant contribution in improving the grade of students in school if utilized responsibly. Social networking sites have created a new social dimension where individuals can increase their social awareness by keeping in touch with old friends, making new friends, and getting new data or products, and gathering information in other aspects of everyday life. This helps individuals become more knowledgeable which is very beneficial for students. In addition, according to the study of Moralio, he included that improvement in the student grades relies on all over the factors within the teaching learning process and could not be attributed to the use of SNS alone. On the other hand, it is found out that the proper and reasonable use of NSS could help the student in one way or another in their assigned class discussion and interactions with their instructors.
Methodology. This chapter specifies the processes and procedures that the proponents will use to address the major problems presented in the study. Specifically, it involves the research design, research method, a description of the respondents, the instrument of the study, and the data gathering procedures. Research method. The researchers used a qualitative research method to recognize the effects of using social media on the academic performance experienced by grade 11 ABM students from MNHS Kamaya campus. This research collects in-depth understandings of a problem or produces new research ideas. It includes collecting and processing non-numeric data to understand concepts, thoughts, or experiences. It focuses on understanding a research question with a humanistic and ideological approach. This research method is presumably good for collecting detailed information as well as generating new research ideas. Research design. The researchers used a phenomenological approach. Phenomenology is the study of phenomena, a type of qualitative research that examines people's lived experiences. This research will rely on participants' views and experiences on the subject. In our phenomenological study, we use a combination of online questionnaires and reading publications or literature. It allows our research to explore what people or the respondents experience and gain insight into their first-hand accounts of an event. This approach will complete our study and concentrate on studying experiences from a personal perspective. Hi, my name is Salame Ardenefres, and I'm here to discuss the descriptions of respondents. The respondents for the research are the grade 11 ABM students from MNHH Kamaya campus. They are the ones who will assist the proponents as they have the essential knowledge and experience to answer the research question provided by the research test. They are the ones who will fill in the gaps as they belong to do who as the influenced by social media. The response will be beneficial to the research the proponents are conducting. Instruments of the study: test surveys, skills questionnaires, checklists, and participants. Observations are all used in the procedures the researchers use online questionnaires to collect data from grade 11 ABM students at MNHS Kamaya campus. The penological approach was used to apply and seek out as much detailed and relevant information as possible. That will be done by using Google Forms. Open-ended options are provided to accommodate pre-formatted view relate to the topics or issues. In the way the instruments is categorized to obtain valid response from the students. The retrieved data from the respondents will clarify the consequence as using social media on academic performance. Data gathering procedures. The researchers of this study use an online questionnaires in collecting the data. The questionnaire is composed of questions which base from the statement of the problem. The researchers made sure that the set of questions are enough to provide sufficient data needed in the study. Also, these questions were thoroughly checked to make sure they're effectively and modified to address all the corrections of each questions. An online questionnaire is preferred by the researchers than the traditional hard copy questionnaires because it is convenient and more efficient to the researchers and because of the technology advancement in collecting the data. Before we begin and send out the questionnaires, the researchers will ask for the respondents' approval first, if they are willing to answer the following survey questions. This is also to assure that their responses is related to the study will be kept confidential. The data needed for this study will be collected via online questionnaires, primarily to get the respondents' insight and their understanding towards the specific topic. The researchers will start gathering information via Google Forms that will be distributed through social media sites after the respondents approve of answering the questions. After gathering the data, the researchers will review, interpret, and analyze the findings of the survey. And that's all for this video presentation.